Did I make it just in time?
Oh, yeah, you did. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah. Happy Friday.
What's
What's
going on?
What's up? We got a hot topic today. We're gonna see. But
Yeah, where's Danielle
going
at?
on this week?
Danielle will be here, I think, shortly. So, but we have a lot. We got a lot of ground to cover, mainly with a big accident, and then the whole ripple effect. I think we'll have Danielle cover it because she's been more plugged into it, even more than I have.
Oh, Danielle's going on the Steve Bannon show after this. Is that right? Are we going to interview someone that's going to be on the Steve Bannon show right after us?
Literally right after this.
I think Gord is doing it too, and it seems like our friends, this little internet world of freight people yelling at the clouds is turned into.
When are we going to get invited to the Steve Bannon show or Tucker Carlson? I don't know. I feel like we should get all three of us should get invited.
I feel like honestly with Danielle's appearance,
or we should invite them, dude. We should invite them on the show.
You think Tucker would come on Freight Gong Friday?
I think so.
Well, we would just extend and invite. Hey, brother.
We need to our goal. We should have some set goals for Freight Gong Friday because I feel we're a little bit behind on that, and then just be like, yo, our goal this year is have Tucker Carlson on it, and if we don't do it, we have to have some kind of
that's a good stretch goal, honestly, but achievable. We can just.
I mean, Gord interviewed him, which is kind of wild. I feel like we didn't talk enough about that, the fact that Gord was.
Have we ever had Gord on this show? I don't think we have.
No,
on this one, no. We should have Gord on it right now. We should honestly, reach out to Gord.
Let me. I'll message him and see, but it's obviously last second. So
Danielle and Gord.
Whew.
I'll message you, Gord.
Gord's got a great radio voice, so it's he belongs on the airwaves.
I'm gonna get this reposted on my LinkedIn personal page. Maybe we get some more people watching. Let's see here.
Hey, Reed, what's what is ATU Truckers? The ATU Truckers account?
I'm not sure. No,
because Gord, that's who Gord's going on.
Danielle just messaged on LinkedIn. I don't have a link to join.
I just sent Danielle. Check your X messages. I sent it to you there.
Oh, Tracy's on camera. Our desk setups here are a little screwed up. So she's always directly behind me in the camera.
I love how your green screen just keeps the voted #1 tool for truckers.
Yeah.
Perfectly in the background.
That poster says voted #1 tool for truckers 2024 by Hunter's mom in small text. So I guess that was not necessarily an official poll.
Okay, give me a second, guys, here to make sure that Danielle gets this link.
I sent it to her on LinkedIn as well.
Okay. I don't know how that happened.
I need somebody to give a play-by-play of how this has all evolved because I have not been paying attention in any way, shape, or form.
Yo, what's going on at Truck Parking Club? If you haven't been paying attention, what's going on there? You guys have a lot of.
We commissioned this research report a couple months ago just to try to understand the truck parking problem a little better, and so we released that on Tuesday, and so I've been just kind of working on that, talking to people about that, and it's been interesting. We had some interesting things to say, so yeah, that's what we've been up to.
Nice.
Okay, I don't know if I want to go into this, but while we wait for Danielle here, do you guys know what this? And I don't know what to think of it yet. But did you guys see this Chattanooga police body cam video situation?
No.
Yeah, I don't know what it's about, but it's being posted by the Carrier 411 Services account. Do you guys have any idea what that is related to?
You should show it because I don't know.
I don't know I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Show it on the screen. Care for a one. Darren Brewer's
said he
going.
might be able to join on, by the way.
Yo, Darren Brewer's been going off on Twitter. Like, I also like we should. That's another hot topic that no one's talking about. Is like what's going on with FreightWaves and Darren Brewer. And
Yes, that's kind of related, supposedly.
And Dooner and Clarissa Hawes. Like, did you see that selfie with like Clarissa and Darren? And Darren wrote, "You complete me."
I did see that.
I don't
know what it.
I need to call Darren and see what's going on. We got to write a Freight Caviar piece about this because this is getting wild. Reed, you're in Chattanooga. You know anything about what's going on here?
No, I don't. I've seen it all. Well, not this police thing, but I have no idea what's going on.
Hey, Danielle.
Hi.
Morning, Danielle.
Good morning. Thanks for sending the link. I was like kind of freaking out trying to find.
Did we get your
Danielle,
email
if you're
wrong?
going to be this like internet celebrity, you're going to need a better recording setup than what you got there. I don't know what's behind you, but
You should unblur your screen.
No.
Let's see what's going on there.
I can't. I have been
truckers
all
out
my
there?
time over the past 3 days has been posting on the internet. I have not had time to pick up all of those toys. We'll get to that.
Okay.
Today, tomorrow.
So you haven't. I saw that you didn't sleep a lot in the last couple of days. It's just been caffeine, nicotine, and patriotism.
Night before last, I just couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
And I
all
just
this
kept
energy.
seeing people post dumb things, and I was like, "We're not going to do this today."
So you're seeing people to post dumb things. So you were going in and making sure everything's corrected. Is that what's keeping you up, or was it more so the excitement of around like actually being heard?
Oh, it was all of it. I would definitely say the excitement of how much attention that the trucking industry was getting. That is what really kept me up 95%. The other 5% is that it started with the FreightWaves article that we did. And then I just kept writing different articles about things that were going on in the trucking industry. And I was very specific when I wrote those that my audience was not like you guys. It wasn't the trucking industry. You guys understand a lot of the issues. So I wanted to write in a way that would make sense to anyone. And I just put them on my Substack, didn't really think anything about it. And then this week happened, and it was like everything that was confusing or misunderstood from my Substack, from Gord, from different like podcasts and videos we've done, we have all the answers already. So I just kept posting like my Substack, Gord Substack, someone's X post to answer the question. It's been a wild few days. I will say that.
You need to give us a play-by-play. You need to
Let's
just give us a.
I'm gonna go on Danielle's Twitter here, so we could scroll. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit, and she.
By
can
the way,
give us
Danielle,
more.
you went from like I think it was a month ago of like around 1,000 followers to now you're at 3.3, maybe 3.4.
Bro, you got to get. We got to get her more. You're gonna get more.
You're gonna get. I mean, definitely, but like it is. I just want to. No, sorry, 4.9 thousand. No. So this is just your account's just taking off.
And
awesome.
the engagement is crazy. Like
it's insane, actually. That is what is my. Hold on, let me go. Let's not do 3 month. Let's do.
You're getting paid now too,
7
right?
days. Oh yeah, 7 days. My impressions are up 2,000%.
Hell yeah!
So, how much did you make? Have you made like in the last month on Twitter?
My first payout was 2 months ago, but that's the like a larger one because you get paid for the whole time you've been on Twitter X, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, the first time you get the payout.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
really?
unfortunately, I had X in 2011 is when I had my first account. I couldn't get back into it. I don't know how much I would have made off that one, but it's kind of cool to think about. So my first payment was like, it was a lot. I was very surprised. Hold on.
They pay out well on X.
Yeah, I didn't expect it. My first payout was 618.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, and then last month was 136, which is way more than I even thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like $10 or something.
How many impressions total was that for last month?
Hold on. I want to give you accurate numbers. I don't want to
Oh,
falsify
I mean, it had
the
to be more
data
than
here.
5 million, right? It had to be
Oh
more.
yeah. The last month, 5.4 million.
Wow.
But
Oh.
the one post that I did of like, let's play a game, and it was how many trucks are registered at this location. That
Yeah.
post has like 1.4 million views.
It's
And it was so dumb. I was just like joking when I threw a lot of this. I was
Yeah.
kind of
Which one was
joking.
this again? I do recall something like this.
Is there a, I can't, sorry, my camera's in the way. I think, I don't know. It's a lot.
We're just-
There's a lot here.
Okay, so Danielle, there's people that have been obviously reading our newsletter, more or less keeping up, but not everybody's per se on X, where you're posting a lot of this
Yeah.
stuff. So can you break down and kind of compress, like, what are you yelling into the void? Not the void, but sorry, we're yelling into the ether
Yeah.
about these days, and why is it resulting in so many people following your account?
So the things that I have been yelling into the void are the exact same things the trucking, the fleet side, the small carriers, the medium-sized carriers, everyone who has seen the decline in American trucking over the past couple of years, everything that they have been pushing for years on end, that is exactly what I am pushing. I am pushing the sheer number of US DOT records that have been registered, entered, however you want to phrase it, since 2001 is absurd. Like 2 million trucking companies in the United States. That's insane to me.
And is it the sheer number of them that is the problem, or is it more so the processes and
Yes.
kind of rigors of admission per se, let's call
Yeah.
it, that are the issue?
Yeah. So when all of this started, I downloaded the FMCSA, the USDOT just company consensus file, which is like 2 million rows. And I finally figured out how to get it open. And I was doom scrolling through it. And I was absolutely amazed at the data that is in there. It's a complete mess. Like I keep referring
quite
to it.
poor quality, yes.
Yeah, I keep referring to it as a dumpster fire. It is literally a dumpster fire. So I'm doom scrolling and I'm like,
So what's one example of how bad it, I know some of these, but if you can share with us, what's an example of some of the dumpster fire that you found on this data?
So matching addresses is one of them. And I want to talk about it not in a way that is like the fraudulent activity of it, just like, hey, there are 52 records at this same address. Some of them have an apartment number, some don't. If you imagine that, not even, again, not trucking industry specific, like phone book, address book, you open it up and there's 52 records with different names at the same address. And you're like, must be a big house or something.
Yeah. Or, well, obviously you ended up realizing too, I think through the investigations that you've done, like there are these addresses, they usually end up, well, not usually, there are occurrences that they're apartment complexes, right?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So then the question is like, okay,
this has been the case forever.
Yeah, but no one was listening.
Nobody was listening and nobody really saw that. I mean, it was funny. I remember back in like 2016, 2017, like auditing carriers, looking for carriers. And I would just, go on Safer and just look at their address and see where they were based to see if they like had a yard and stuff. And they were like of a certain size. Because if a carrier is like, 30 trucks and you look up their address, I'm like, man, maybe they have like a yard, maybe they can drop trailers. So I would try to learn more about them by looking at their address. And you just start to notice that they were based in just these like apartment complexes or like random houses or like abandoned buildings.
I found empty fields, like abandoned storefronts. And so I think we've known as an industry whole that this has been going on for a long time. But just like Reed said, he would be vetting carriers and see one or two of them, go research them and be like, oh, this is crazy, and then go on with his day. I don't know that anyone has looked at it from the perspective of this is actually rampant. This is everywhere.
Yeah, and this no-name thing too is interesting. What's up with that?
This is the craziest one to me, is that in California. Yeah. Danielle, share this.
So I'm going to first give you the copy and paste answer that if one more person tells me, I'm probably going to choose violence. When the immigration documents are filed and I realize that this can be true. I will also tell you this is not what is happening. When the immigration documents are filed and they're bringing over their ID from wherever, the first name and the last name don't translate to the United States naming convention. So they do no name given, first name unknown, FNU, last name unknown. I've actually picked up on a new pattern of this first name given. Apparently they realize that we've caught on to first name given, but there is no given name. And now there is no given name with two I's in given. Yeah. I'm like,
Shifty.
You guys are ridiculous. So
wait. So how does the 2I thing?
I don't know. They just spell it with two I's. Because I know why they do this, because the FMCSA database it is a spreadsheet. It's an Excel sheet. That's all it is. There's no matching. There's no cross-referencing, nothing. So it's just entering data into a spreadsheet, and then here you go. Go haul freight.
So is the no name given thing, sorry, Reed, but last thing, is the no name given a result of a state level requirement, or like how they treat issuing of a license or any documentation? Is it like are there states where their licenses will never have a no name given?
Oh yeah. 97% of those are in California. The other 3% are in Indiana. And by 3%, it's like 3 of them out of 600.
Okay.
So I think, speculation, I cannot prove this. I think that it is one of the ways that California is issuing these licenses. And maybe it is a license that they're sharing across multiple people. I know that that's happening in the Uber and ride sharing space.
Wow.
Really?
That is factual and documented and proven. I don't know that that's happening in the trucking industry. I do know that they're getting driver's license and just sharing them on Uber and sharing an Uber account. So you have one, it's the same thing in trucking. You have one Uber account and 5 people using it to do Uber Eats and pick up people, which is even scarier to me because I use Uber.
Yeah.
Talk about these crashes.
Which one? All of them?
Good question.
It
seems like there's so many.
Really went to the moon.
This week's, right?
It feels like there's been a couple. It feels like there's over the last couple of months, there's been a couple that have just gotten a lot more high profile attention. And then really the one this week or earlier this week in Florida basically kind of blew the gasket off the top, or blew the roof off of just the narrative. And it's just kind of broken through to the mainstream.
And so I know why this happened. And I tweeted or posted. I don't like posted, but I don't know if we can tweet anymore. August 5th, I posted that if anyone in America realized how rampant this was in the trucking industry, they would be just as concerned as they are in about the medical and tech, because really the tech and the medical field kind of blew up over the last few weeks, which was an insane setup for this incident.
In which
because
way?
People are already aware.
Let me just pull up a meme from Justin real quick in regards to this. I thought it was kind of funny yesterday, but keep going. I'm just going to pull it up here.
Yeah, it was just a perfect setup. We have millions of people across the United States already aware that this is a problem. And it breaks my heart that it got to this point and 3 people died to get us here. But at the same time, the trucking industry has needed this attention for years. Yes.
This is this must be hot off the press. Like either yesterday evening.
Yes, yesterday evening. That was Justin, Super Trucker.
So what was what was discovered about this guy, the guy in Florida? He is an illegal immigrant.
He is.
See, and that's very that's very hard to prove from our perspective and where we're sitting, because the documents that they're using are real documents from these refugee centers throughout the United States. They're real documents. So what we can see, what the DMV gets, it may look like it is an approved stay. And it's completely fraudulent. Because to get a CDL, we had to have something.
From the refugee center, you're saying? Like that would be one of the ways that...
Yeah. And I'm working with anyone on X, I don't know, Data Republican.
You're working with her as well?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's 3 people that I've been working with in that little group. They're incredibly intelligent. What they've said about the FMCSA data is hilarious. I don't know, it like crashed one of the guy's computer and he said he's never seen anything like this in his life. And I was like, welcome.
Wow.
Welcome to American trucking.
Wow.
Yeah. So I say that because they're very much more knowledgeable about the financials and the NGO space than I am. And when I realized that I had to broaden my perspective and my research outside of trucking and truly figure out what's going on here, a couple of them reached out after a post on Sarah. I forget her last name. After a post.
Okay. So as far as I'm aware, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm here, Danielle, but I think part of the reason why the guy was the semi, he basically was driving a semi truck. He was also, it seemed like it was a team driver, but he basically just in the middle of the highway, just full on pulled a U-turn.
Right after the no U-turn sign.
Right after the no U-turn sign, right? Like I wouldn't do that with a car just because of how.
I mean, have we ever done? Has anyone ever here pulled off a U-turn on a highway? I mean,
you're going 70 plus miles an hour, and
like,
to just
that's highly illegal.
Yeah. So,
I actually did do it once when I was 16. It was, I don't know how I didn't.
Damn, Danielle, you can't be saying this live.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm being very honest, and we're getting places.
We appreciate the transparency of our historic mistakes. But okay, so this guy, he did a full UE with the semi, right? And as you can see in the photo here, literally the entire trailer spans the all highway lanes. And the issue here was around the documentation, and then B, it seemed like some proficiency tests he didn't sufficiently do well on. Is that a correct understanding, Danielle?
Yes. He I think this depends on the state, how they issue the English language proficiency, like I'm going to call it a quiz. Where he did it, I would have to go back and look. There were 12 prompts. He was able to pass 2 of them.
All right.
So, and so obviously a lot has happened since this happened, kind of reaching the zenith with what the, I guess, Marco Rubio put out yesterday, or was that the day before? I don't even remember.
Yesterday.
What? Share that, guys.
So yeah,
which one?
Can you pull that up? The Marco Rubio announcement.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull it up right now.
So Danielle, while Paul pulls that up, can you? It might seem obvious, but I know many fleets here in Chicago, or have, you know, heard of them or whatnot, that bring drivers in from overseas. And the company itself, like, I feel like I guess I'm trying to say is that it felt like that a driver not speaking the language that well, English, to date was a accepted norm, and
Yeah.
that it was
Yeah.
really nothing wrong with it because, and yeah, nothing wrong with it in the sense that that any logistical related issues that the driver might need to go through. It was really more so from the business operations perspective, that the company itself operated using the language that driver spoke natively, right? The majority of the employees of the company spoke that language, and that is how they all were able to communicate. So they were able to resolve issues, and I think because of that, it just became an accepted norm. It's like nothing's necessarily wrong with that. Right?
Yep.
I think what you're doing is shedding light on a new perspective to this, where it actually can be problematic and framed more so as a safety issue than anything, right?
Absolutely. And I think the way that it was set up in the beginning, there were very good intentions behind it, and it was set up for a high trust society. I think that for a long time we had safe drivers who were not totally proficient in English. They would be able to talk to the police officer, probably short answers, probably just give the paperwork and answer those basic questions, and they were safe. They were fine. The influx that we had during COVID, it never stopped. It just continued going. And so when we have that many people being pushed through the CDL schools, and the CDL schools are just as bad, and all of this, this is not mega carrier. This is not even like mid-size carrier. All of this is, they all have their own USDOT. So try to be careful, because I don't want this to sound like so hateful at all. It's just, this is what's happening. So in this one, there's 27 USDOTs registered at this department. Some of them have been put out of service. Most of them are currently active, and there's a couple pending. You can't tell me that these 27 people with the same last name don't know each other and they're not doing something. They are, actually. They're all using the same USDOTs. And so the English language proficiency, I think that, again, high trust society, it's been a law since the beginning of transportation in America. So everyone thinking this is a new idea, that we're being so mean to a subgroup of people. It's not true. Trump just enforced a law that already existed and has existed.
And that law, just to be clear, is which one exactly? You have to be able to read and speak the English language to get a CDL. Okay. So that is not a new law. That is,
yeah, I think Obama had something that I don't know,
relaxed it.
Yeah, like they stopped like enforcing it.
Yeah. So on that enforcement piece, Obama relaxed it. So if the driver could not speak or read English, it was a violation, which doesn't put him off the road. It's kind of like a slap on the wrist, like a warning, what we would get as a warning.
Mm-hmm.
Trump reinforced it as an out of service violation, which is great. And I think, again, high trust society, all of this was built on great intention. I think that by enforcing that, and I even fell into this, that was going to take care of a lot of problems. But if you trace some of these inspections, that VIN number is on there, we can see everything about it. They're going out of service. And then after that time period is up, or the officer leaves the weigh station, they get back on the road.
Yeah. Reed, question for you. Since your guys' new truck parking club office, you have a lot that a lot of drivers are parking and staying at. Do you come across many drivers that don't speak any English?
No, not really. I mean, and I've in my days as a broker, I mean, I talked to tens of thousands of drivers, right? And occasionally you would definitely find a situation where you book a load and the dispatcher's like, yeah, you can't talk to the driver, like talk to me. And you're like, okay. And then some situations might arise where you're like, I need to talk to the driver no matter what. Like, you have to put me in touch with the driver. And then you realize, okay, the driver doesn't really speak any English and you can't really communicate with them. So, I mean, it definitely did happen in my experience with that. This is a ridiculous video. What the heck?
Is this some simulator game?
This is Grand Theft Auto.
Oh my goodness.
So let me just reiterate what we just said, just to make sure I understand. So this English language thing has been a law, but it just was relaxed and hadn't been enforced.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting.
And now it came back.
Yep.
And what was the move by the Secretary of State was to pause issuing work visas, not to revoke any or change anything that already exists, right?
Yes, which if this would have been, we're going to like put a cease and desist on all of the existing visas and CDLs, the freight industry would be in shambles.
Would there be a driver shortage?
For the first time since 1987.
How do we know that truck drivers
is the driver shortage narrative back?
I actually created a Substack. It took me like 2.5 hours of scrolling through the internet, and I just screenshotted all of the truck driving, not all of them. It was kind of ridiculous once I got to like 2016, but I screenshotted all of the articles that I could find on the internet and just put them in like one long thread. Because I was really curious, like, how long has this been going on? Because it is malicious, it is negligent, it is the worst workforce development initiative in American history, in my opinion.
So I used to be one of those individuals that promoted the narrative around the driver shortage.
It's so easy to do.
In 2017, right? I was also new to the industry. I didn't know that much. So articles I read, everybody's saying there's a shortage, there's a driver shortage, all this stuff. And then very quickly, I started realizing,
what is this?
I made this website like 2 years ago. Website?
You made this website?
Yeah, I made
this. You made this?
No way.
Yes. I made this during a Twitter space probably two plus years ago. Drivershortage.com.
Oh my God.
I love when you click spread the word, it just creates a tweet for you where it says that you got the shortage of drivers.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was one of my creations many moons ago.
You got to get back on the random ass website.
We need to bring Reed back.
I know, man. I've been out of the game. It's funny. I actually had a tweet that I was writing the other day that it's probably still in my drafts. Sorry, I'm gonna get some coffee. But I've been out of the game for a long time. My attention's been elsewhere, and ever since I've been,
we need to fix that.
I've stepped aside. We've had a new class of people doing their thing, which I think is exciting.
Let's break it up.
What's this website?
Drivershortage.com.
Yeah, drivershortage.com. That's all it is. Want to contribute to the cause? Buy a hat. Let's see if we could buy a hat.
I don't have any inventory though. Where does that go to?
It goes to this the advisor, police advisor. It's sold out though.
At least it's sold out.
All right, guys.
Reed, you need to find somebody that will just take care of this inventory situation for you, because there's plenty of buyer potential here.
On this note of creating random websites when you have an idea, there are, I think at this point, 600 US DOTs registered with WFS
TF.
WTFFMCSA@AOL.com. So I
Hell
bought
yeah.
the domain.
Let's hold on.
I-
You got that exact domain, right?
Yeah, go to WTFFMCSA.com.
Paul,
I
go,
was
go,
just-
go to it. Go to it.
I just
real
want to
quick.
make a statement
What is
real
it?
quick. Go to that site,
WTF.
WTFFMCSA.com.
MCSA, yeah.
All my meme sites are pre-vibe coding. I am the original vibe coder.
Damn.
So
This is great.
For context,
This is
here,
perfect.
right? Like there's about 700 USDOT numbers, as you said, Danielle, like, and they're all registered basically to this.
That place looks
address.
dope.
Now, what?
Is that Glendale, California? Where is that?
Where was it? I think it was California.
Something Hill.
Somewhere near Glendale?
What we learned though, and somebody, I forgot what was his name, we had him on Fake on Friday, Ben, pointed out to me when like I did a short deep dive with with Danielle, and what I learned was that this is actually the address of a registrant, which made no sense to me. It was a company that registers trucking companies, and like boggles my mind that it is permissible for the registrant service company that you use to use their address.
Okay. To argue this point, I kind of see the validity of that, and obviously not the validity of like the shady people, but okay, if you're an owner operator, and let's just say like you don't even have like a full-time address because you're traveling in your truck almost the whole time, like then I'd be like, all right, that makes sense because like this guy's literally just going to be in his truck, probably living the whole time. He doesn't have an address. Just put it on the company that registered his truck, you know. But then there's obviously a lot of cases like
that, because like that, it's a fair point. Like I don't know how many drivers basically don't have a house and they just are on the road living. I know that they exist.
Mhm.
What do you do in this case, right? Like what would be the kind of, I don't know if you've thought about what
Danielle, you're in charge now.
Yeah. The key coordinator of
What would you do?
FMCSA.
What will you
Yeah.
do like this?
I would shut it all down. No, the first thing I would do is stop all USDOT registrants. No new carriers until we clean up this mess.
No new
Dang.
cares.
None. If you want to register to be a trucking company and you are legitimate, you're going to have to call and sit on the phone for 30 minutes before anyone answers because you have to really, really want it at that point. We don't need any more motor carriers at this very moment until this mess is cleaned up. That's the first thing I would do.
Okay. So
Gord, if you're listening to this, there we go.
wait, let's get Gordo in here.
Oh boy.
Gord is here. Oh my goodness.
damn.
Hi, Gord.
We have a squad.
We have a
Oh
squad
shit!
today.
Oh shit!
We're gonna be together all day, Gord.
I can't stay too
Yo.
long. I'm
Yeah.
dealing with children here, but
What- Tell us a little bit about what's going on with Steve Bannon. So you both are going to go on Steve Bannon's show, right? After
right,
this?
yeah.
That's
So
wild. It's an honor for both of you to have to make time for Freight Gong Friday before the Steve Bannon show. So
I
thank
should
you.
Yeah.
probably do something with my setup here before.
yeah. Actually, I don't know if you saw the text, Shannon. Danielle. We went from 10 to 11, and now it's back at 10:30. So we got to like bounce sooner. So the Bannon thing, I've been on Bannon with Shannon now twice, earlier in the summer and once in the spring. And
Can you pull up real quick ATU Truckers account, just because I don't think everybody knows Shannon.
No, and they should. I didn't know Shannon until
literally Gord tweeted. I didn't even know that was the name of the person behind that
no,
account.
and what they do
Until
is
Gord tweeted.
phenomenal.
So I was introduced to Shannon via way of my Substack. Shannon and Harvey started reading my Substack probably 2 years ago.
Shout out to Harvey. He paid the full subscription to my Substack.
Yeah,
Nice.
and they
It made my heart so happy.
and so I got a random email from Shannon probably 2 years ago saying, "Hey, we like your Substack, we like your work. We're starting our own thing over here called American Truckers United." I'm like, "Cool, keep me posted." And then they really started ramping their activities up last year, and they started a Twitter account, and they went like full tilt boogie. And I already had been in touch with Bannon through Newsweek.
Wait.
My
They started the ATU Truckers account a year ago, and they're at $33,000 now.
Yep. Well, I mean, I'm going to take a little bit of credit for that because I hooked them up with Bannon. Bannon had no idea who they were, and Steve Bannon was connected to me by my former editor at Newsweek, Batya Unger Sargon, who's been very her little project at Newsweek in part was to also bring like more working class people and give them a platform. So she found me during Freedom Convoy. I started writing for them. She got tons of hits on my articles. People loved it. So she kept me coming back. And Batya was watching what I was doing with like trying to advocate for truckers. And she said, you know, hey, you need to talk to Steve Bannon because like he's totally America First patriot, loves working people. So she hooked me up with Bannon. When Shannon's numbers crunching on CDLs started to get a lot of traction, and I started looking into it more and started using his information in my own articles at other places like the Blaze and whatever. I sent that stuff to Bannon and told him like we have a problem here with this in-source trucking stuff. And after the accident in Austin in March, Bannon reached out to me and said, what the heck is going on here? And I said, well, me and my buddy Shannon can tell you all about it if you want. And he invited us on his show. And then after that, ATU's Twitter account just like kept going and going and going. And then there's some other things going on in the background I'm not at liberty to discuss. But anyway, a lot of the credit for what we're seeing with the administration being so responsive to this problem with dodgy CDLs and really untrained drivers being allowed on the road. It's Twitter anons, and it's some people in the media that I'm connected with that have got our stuff put in front of the administration's face.
So I think this is an incredible phenomenon that from what it seems like is that the voices of these accounts on X, and it seems like primarily X, they are actually impacting what the administration is acting on right now.
Right, and it's not just Freight X either, right? Like you have to understand when Trump's people learned a lot of lessons from Trump 1 and from, you know, quote unquote, the deep state coming after him and bringing us Biden in 2020. I'm not a big fan of politicians. I spent a lot of time in libertarian anarchist world. I still lean that way mostly. However, Trump's got some really smart people working for him, and this has been reported on in other media. There's a bunch of Twitter anons that are in the administration acting as his advisors. They understand meme magic. They saw that 2016, the 4chan, all that stuff. They understand the utility of being online, and they also understand the utility of understanding what people online are telling them and recognizing that as legitimate grievance of the polity, right? So like from a purely political standpoint, if they respond to things we're saying online and then they give us what they want, you know, there's a Twitter account, this guy Bogby from the Good Old Boys podcast. He has been banging on about this for years. Patronage politics. You give people what they want, they vote for you. It's a circular system. And Trump gets it and his people get it. So they're just like, well, let's go on Twitter and see what everybody wants. And, you know, the trucking thing is everybody knows about it. Everybody drives, even if you're not on Twitter, even if you're not online at all, even if you're like a 60-year-old boomer that's totally clueless about the online world, everybody understands that you have to drive. Like for better or worse, our society is built around the interstate highway system and roads and cars and trucks, and it is what it is. And you can't escape it. And you can't escape the reality of all the crashes, the bad behavior, looking up in the window of a white Volvo and seeing some idiot playing on his phone going down the road. Everybody sees it. And it's a very, very easy political W for these guys to be seen to be doing something about it. It's red meat for populism to deal with something that's present in every person's everyday life.
Yeah, and I think the way that we were sharing it, and I kind of touched on this when we first started this morning, but the way that it's been shared in the past, especially from the trucking community, the language they are using is very specific to trucking and to this industry. And so if you're scrolling on X, you wouldn't see it, you wouldn't read it, it wouldn't catch your attention. So when I started writing those articles and started posting on X, I actually spent hours, way too much time, comparing some of the Congress scripts to see what had actually worked in that space, what people were paying attention to. And it confirmed everything that I thought. And it is the numbers and the language. If there aren't numbers with some of this stuff, people are not going to care. They're going to think it's 1, they're going to think it's 2, it's a non-issue. But when we put out hundreds of thousands, then it starts gaining attention.
I have a question for Gord. Gord, I know you're more or less on the leaning towards the side on the anti-AI side of things. But in this,
it's not that I'm against it necessarily. I'm just very skeptical of it, and I wish the people hustling it would tell the truth about what their intentions are.
Okay, so in this particular context, right, when there's investigative, there's data crunching, stuff like this, like, have you used it at all to help you?
No.
Really?
You can't.
No, I would no, and well, a lot of times it's wrong, a lot of times it tells you what you want to hear, and a lot of, like, I've had people send me screenshots of Cheat GPT and Grok and all, all this other stuff, and one person will talk to it about the driver shortage and it'll quote ATA stuff. Another person will put in a prompt and it'll quote me, or it'll quote other people saying that it's, or FreightWaves saying that it's fake, right? So like these large language models and this AI stuff is extremely inconsistent. And then there's also the fact, like, I'm writing a book right now, and wouldn't I be some asshole where I dedicate part of the book saying, let's be skeptical of autonomous vehicles, and then I went and used this technology. I also, I don't consider myself a professional writer. I fell into this, right? Like, I have no training. I barely finished high school. I because I enjoy reading, and I think most other people are smart who enjoy reading as well. You can see the stuff. You can see the content that's been generated by LLMs. There's tells. There's certain ways they phrase paragraphs.
It's hard for me to read. It doesn't flow in like a natural human read. I don't know. This
doesn't.
Is a great example.
So I was actually more so asking, like, the tweet that Paul just had up about asking AI for an answer is definitely where you will get misled. I was actually asking it more so from the standpoint of, like, you provided a spreadsheet.
I do that.
A spreadsheet, right? And then you ask it to find patterns in what you provided. So it's not going in and trying to kind of give you some averaged answer of things that it's heard across the internet, right? But have you guys found that to be valuable?
Absolutely, I use it. I will take out like a
never use that?
I mean, listen. So depending on the use case, like if Danielle's going to use it as basically like a spreadsheet plus for crunching numbers or trying to analyze data, I mean, go ahead, whatever. I'm not going to criticize people about that. It's the content production, it's the AI slop, it's the heart and soul, right? Like the stuff that's supposed to be creative and come out of your own head, right? If it's a number crunching, if you're using it as a tool, that's one thing. If you're using it to substitute human creativity and your own thoughts and your own heart and soul, that's where I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
So if I were to take in this example, Gord's Substack articles, sometimes you can be reading through them, and if you know Gord, ever heard him talk, you can hear him saying those things. What? If I were to take this article and be like, AI, rewrite this, it would be totally, it is haunting. It would be totally different. And it just wouldn't read like the human actually wrote it, with the emotion, with the dedication behind what they're doing.
Yeah, they are. And I think there's at least some people I've heard, have been voicing, other than just, Gord, the AI content writing piece is, there people aren't
It's
fans
everywhere.
of, and like, at Freight Caviar, right now, all of our content is entirely written by, by an individual, and it's a matter of kind of
Not
taste
entirely.
and majority of
Let's be honest here.
majority of it, right? Like we
I
still
mean,
have
I don't know. I don't know. I rather not like comment on that right now.
Paul
Or make
doesn't
false
write
statements.
anything. Paul just uses the
I mean, I don't know what percentage is written by AI, what's not, but like we utilize AI for sure. But like, I mean, we cross check and stuff. So like, I wouldn't just say that blatantly, though, Christian.
Well, I guess then the point I'm trying to make is that it's not like, hey, generate an article, generate a blurb about this particular event or article, and then just like send it as is,
Yeah.
right? It's like it's just being utilized as a tool. And like, to be honest, if you're not using it as a tool these days, like you might be falling behind in some manner, like whether that's grammar check, whether that's like sentence construction, whatever it might be. But
Yeah, and I actually saw this play out in real time. So off of my Hope Trans article, I think, my like investigation and reporting into that, someone had taken that article and put it into AI and rewrote it. And I mean, it followed the same structure, except it was just AI generated. And I was like, cool, guys. I'm going to start billing these people, actually, for taking.
I have a question. Since like everyone says there's no truck driver shortage, well, I guess since the media keeps saying there's a truck driver shortage, and there isn't, I guess, how do we know that there's actually a truck parking shortage? Because what if that's just fake news? Like, because Reed commissioned a report. Like, I mean, like, how, it's like biased. Obviously, like they're going to show there's truck driver or truck parking shortage. What if that's just BS?
yeah,
bro, you gotta crunch the numbers and decide for yourself, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can't. The thing about research and the thing about just anything you see online in general is you have to just actually read past headlines. You have to read past what people say, and you have to try to figure it out for yourself. Else you're going to be just completely captured by whatever the loudest voice in the room is, right? And it's the same with it's the same with this English language stuff. It's the same with everything that anyone says. You got to go out there and figure it out.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. There is no.
Reed, have you had anybody object? Have you had anybody object to the truck parking shortage?
Of course. I mean, we came out with a really bold headline that I think we qualified in what we actually said following it. So I think if you read what we actually said, you'll very clearly understand that today there is like 1.7 million spaces that are needed that don't exist, and that is a shortage. And all we're saying is that we know a clear path to solving it through our own actions and through supporting the actions of other entities kind of lobbying in their own domain. So I think we had a bold headline and people reacted to it, and that's fine. That's the point of a bold headline. You know what I mean? But you have to actually read what is said and take seriously what people say and try to understand what they actually mean in any domain about any sort of thing like this.
Too logical, Reed.
Yeah, it is a little logical, and maybe that's a problem. Maybe I need to stop being. I don't think I'm a terribly logical person though these days.
That was my like meme thing on that AI is that I had said something about there being a driver shortage, and I scrolled through my Substack while I was screen recording through all the articles, and then the person asked Grok, and Grok's like affirming what they're saying, and I'm like, the fact that you trust AI to give you this information rather than this whole group of real people working in the industry, I think that's psychotic.
Yeah.
It's a lot of interesting stuff out there. Keep pounding the pavement, Danielle.
Danielle, what's next? What areas?
I think you're onto something big. I think you're going to be like on Fox News and like Tucker Carlson soon. I think
I literally just messaged Danielle yesterday, and I'm like, I'd bet money that after the ban.
I'm waiting for the merch to drop. I want some merch.
Oh, what is it? It's called Highway Veritas. Is that the new brand?
I just did that domain randomly because I wanted to get my Substack out of the .substack because X doesn't like Substack.com.
Okay.
And so I don't remember my thought process behind it. There was one. It's not here right now.
Danielle, can you make a shirt like this or some like hats like the anti-truck driver shortage truck driver club or something like that? I don't know. I want to buy some merch from you.
Yeah.
You could work with 3 on it. It could be a please advise times X
Could do a collab.
We'll have to price it really high if you want to do that. I don't know if anyone's going to buy it.
They
I'll
might.
buy it.
They might. I'm gonna very honest. What happened yesterday seemed impossible. Like through all the posting, I knew that it was getting traction. I knew that people were paying attention. A few months ago, Mike Cernovic followed me, and I was like, why in the world is this man following me? And then I realized that he is truly interested and would repost, and we just continued gaining traction, not because of Mike Cernovic, but it certainly helped. And people are truly interested in trucking. We just have to talk to them in a way that makes sense to them. I can't quote FMCSA regulations that should be pushed, like broker transparency. If I see broker transparency one more time, I probably going to choose violence. But I don't know what's next. I'm going on Bannon. Wow. In just a little bit with Gord, so that's very exciting. I don't know.
Well, keep us posted.
I will.
Best of luck, Danielle. You're crushing it.
I need some
Rust?
I'm not going to do my employer's swag for this.
What?
There was a comment. I need some swag. Where is it, Danielle? I'm not doing my employer swag.
Rubanova swag. Josh is crazy. He's wild.
He will say, like, I'm going to call him out. He'll say
I'm surprised he's still on Twitter. I'm pretty sure he got banned or blocked. I don't know what he does.
He'll say something super insane and combative on my post and then DM me, and he's like, I'm just joking.
Yeah,
I hope you know I like what you're doing. And I'm like, shh, shut up.
Shots fired at Josh.
Shots fired.
No.
All right.
We're
coming up on time here. Danielle, thank you so much for what you're doing. This is, first off, exciting to see that what you're doing is actually having an impact, really, from a safety perspective, too. I tweeted this early this morning, but I think really the work that you're doing is ending up with some lives being saved. So
I think so.
Awesome to see that.
Best of luck on Steve Bannon. You could ask him if he wants to be on Freight Gong Friday while we're at it, because we thought we might be able to get him on. So
if I have the opportunity, I will. Well, I have his number now. I have his number. I can just text him.
Get out of here. Can you put us in a group chat on iMessage?
Yeah, just throw it in. We'll make it happen.
Reed could send some please advisor hats to him.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I mean, the first
Steve has a similar hat. Or sorry, Danielle, but Steve has a similar head to like Reed. So I think that please advisor would like fit very well on him.
I'll see what we can do here. I won't make promises, but see what we can do.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Freight Gong Friday. Thanks for giving me the platform for the first article and Christian getting that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
We
should do another one too, by the way. So
yeah, we should.
Talk to you. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.